start looking at other situations where there was a power imbalance, for example, women's suffrage. Men controlled everything. Why would they give it up? But as truth continued to come up and women started to show the injustices that were being visited on them by legislation that they had no say in, it reached a tipping point, and they got the rights. Now, that's the kind of thing where we have to keep saying, we demand it. We absolutely demand it, whatever it takes, however long it takes, because there's still more of us than there are of them.
There certainly are. And, take the case of Austin, Texas, where I live. The county attorney a few weeks ago came out and admitted a close to decade-long investigation. I'd call that a decade-long whitewash that even his predecessor had been engaged in, of the city of Austin having almost all their meetings in secret and then lying to the public about it. It's totally illegal. And he said, but if you say you're sorry and promise not to do it again, we won't prosecute you with all these different crimes. And it built up to the premeditation. It was really a felony. But the point is that they're still doing it. But there's the example. Citizens had their civil rights violated by that. Citizens should be suing the members of the city council. There's more than one way to skin a cat. If the county, because the city won't do it to itself, won't do its job because they're a bunch of globalists as well, well, then you've got to go after them in the court of public opinion. And even if you don't win the suit, at least you file suit. And there's a law, and anybody who lives here is a plaintiff because your electoral system was robbed, and a lot of people are business owners. City council made decisions that were made in secret against you. Go after them. It's time to get aggressive. And Bev, you've sued these people quite a bit and won time and time again.
Litigation wins. And listen, even if litigation doesn't prevail, think about this. In the civil rights era, they had to sometimes take the same issue to court multiple times in order to finally win. It's not, we shouldn't just expect that, a lawsuit was filed and it lost. Oh, well, I'll go home. No, you have to keep pushing and keep pushing and never give up. And it's going to take as long as it's going to take. But the bottom line is, truth does eventually win in these large imbalances of power.
That's right. We have to find our fighting spirit again, because there is a spirit over a large part of the public to roll over to anything. But it's always been that way historically. There's always a large minority that does not want to be a slave, and we're fighting a much smaller minority of criminals.
Right. And slavery is a very good analogy, because what we're really looking at now, it's more subtle, but it's basically an electronic form of slavery where we are not having a say in the laws that govern us, which we pay for by our taxes. And the say that we should have, which controls that, has simply been hijacked electronically. So it's subtle, but people do get it. And I think as we change in terms of more young people are starting to grow into this, they're more familiar with computers and electronics, and they understand the risks more so than some of the older generation.
Well, I know this. Government corruption, thieving, stealing, it's admitted to be at all-time record highs. And now we're being told, just give in to it. The system knows best. And the system can't even control itself. There are so many different criminal groups involved. Right. They will bring the whole system down. People need to understand that, folks. We are bankrupt. The country is being taken over by foreign banks. We are being economically conquered, and it is a consortium of organized crime groups with high-tech public relations firms working for them who are drinking their own Kool-Aid.
Yeah, and I think we have to understand that this is something that, I lost my train of thought. I never do that on your show, but I did. You had you were so profound there. I was thinking, wow.
No, I'm not profound. You're profound. What are other key points? You were making a point about, the awakening is happening. The polls show that. Your work the last 15 years or so, we've seen you've seen the polls, 10% thinking there's fraud over 90%.
Oh, yeah,
I hear.
I I know what it is. You have to get public awareness. And even if all you achieve is talking about it so one more person gets it, that's how we get where we need to get. That's how major change happens. It's not because necessarily some magic lawsuit or some one single great investigator. It's because there's an upswelling of understanding in the public. So we have to keep talking about this stuff and keep finding ways to frame it so the public understands what's happening to them.
I agree with you. In closing, any other key points that people should visit blackboxvoting.org to discover? Well,
I got to tell you, it is still just pouring in. I'm surprised at the velocity of the aftermath this time. It's more so than I've ever seen, really. And I think that there's, over the next month, 2 months, 12 months, there's going to be a lot of developments that are really pretty earth-shaking.
Well, please, because I don't want to just call you and get you on when you're not ready. Will you reach out to us, Bev, whenever you're ready to give us the big data dump?
Yeah, I will do. I mean, I think more information is coming out all the time, and maybe a lot of little data dumps might be more easy for people to absorb. But, yeah.
Okay, we'll do that then. We'll call you then in a couple of weeks. Hope you had a great holiday.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
There goes Bev Harris. We'll be back with more of your calls and more news straight ahead. We've got amazing in-studio guests coming up as well. I'm Alex Jones. This is GCNlive.com.
We just had a terrible storm in the east, but we are all still in the eye of the perfect storm. We have the most devastating economic conditions since the Great Depression, America's worst drought in agricultural history, and what about the presidential election? This perfect storm is a huge threat to everyone's food supply. eFoods Direct is preparing for the shortages, and you had better do the same. I can warn you, but I can't feed you. You know that eFoods is the best tasting and safest food on the planet. We all need a bunch of storable and usable food from eFoods Direct. None of us wants to be standing in a bread line trading our freedom for food. Anyone who doesn't take control of their uncertain future has to be just a little bit nuts. Go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex. Starting Thursday, November 22nd at midnight through Monday, November 26th, you can save 25 to 30% on the Black Friday specials. Give the gift of food security. Would you rather prepare 6 months too early or 1 day too late? Go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex.
Imagine waking one morning only to find your family shivering in the dark because you couldn't afford to pay your electric bill. That's closer than you think. You probably haven't heard about this yet because the liberal media has been suppressing what is fast becoming the most shocking news story of 2012. Obama's secret war on coal that could increase your already high power bill as much as 400% in coming months. As shocking as it sounds, it may well be just a matter of time before the lights start going out across America. But here's some good news. There's an underground video at exposed123.com that thousands of smart patriots have used to end their slavery to the corrupt electricity monopoly. The video at exposed123.com has already been banned by Google, and the liberal media is doing everything in its power to take it down and keep America in the dark. So watch it now at exposed123.com before it's too late. Again, that's exposed123.com.
That's what it sounds like when a burglar kicks in the door of a dark house that looks like no one is home. Don't let your home be the next target. Make it look like someone is home watching television with Fake TV. Fake TV is a small electronic device that makes the same light as a real television. So from outside, it looks like someone is home watching TV. Fake TV plugs in just like a lamp on a timer, but is far more convincing to burglars. Fake TV deters burglars, costs far less than an alarm, and is highly recommended by numerous police departments. Use it anytime you're away from home. To order your Fake TV for only $34.95, go to faketv.com or call 1-877-5-FAKE-TV. Each additional Fake TV is only $29.95. So get one for you and one for a loved one for safety, security, and peace of mind for both of you. Call 877-5-FAKE-TV or go to faketv.com. Faketv.com, the burglar deterrent.
One of the big reasons we're in so much trouble is the private banking cartel that's been based in this nation and Europe for a long time. In 1947, under the name of fighting the Soviet threat that they'd actually helped put into power on record, congressional hearings came out decades later on that, they were able to get the National Security Act and just operate in total secrecy with just a tiny bit of congressional oversight and with unlimited funds. So, of course, it was started by very wicked predators, and it just got worse and worse from there on out. Now, more than 80% of activities by 15 agencies is conducted by private contractors that are given 007 license to kill power inside the U.S. They're just murdering, killing whoever they want. They're involved in every type of crime you can imagine. Murdering Army inspectors that expose fraud. The list just goes on and on. And that's when you get societal breakdown, because the system can't even prosecute its own forces just to try to have good management. I mean, the globalists are evil, but their own management structure will break down because they can't even prosecute their own people, because that would then expose the corrupt system. And in the process, it's just going to get worse and worse. And that's how you have election fraud. I mean, you've had it with Diebold, you've had it with these other big companies. Their own people have gone public and then mysteriously died. Their engineers have testified to Congress and legislatures, and the media doesn't cover it. Because that same dominant media, CNN, MSNBC particularly, get government taxpayer money. You know, I talked about this in the first hour, how it's even in the back of newspapers that, oh, yeah, hundreds of billions of dollars over the last decade, and now it's approaching that every year, is spent putting messages in media. And so that's why you see anti-gun, anti-family messages. When you see these anti-founding father, anti-liberty messages, pro-police state messages, you wonder why every cop show, the cops go, I'm violating the Bill of Rights. And they're like, good job, high five. And then it's the right thing to do it. You ever wonder why you see that in every cop show? Because it's paid for. It's total creepville. So cops sit there at home, you know, beat cops and go, someday I'll be a detective and get to violate the Bill of Rights and Constitution. And it's every movie I see about cops, because that's the message. You're being conditioned. You're being prepared. Now, I know that we've got Ryan and a lot of other people that are patiently holding there, and we'll jam you in before the next hour ends. But we've got folks here visiting us all the way from Europe and, I guess, New York, that are going to be coming in at the 5 after. But I'll take and Catherine Albrecht's going to be on with us as well. We're going to chronicle the activities of Google here, and also to try to how to avoid that. Briefly, we had a sale for about 2 weeks that was the most popular we ever did. And folks are asking us to bring it back, and we have enough at the warehouse, I think, to be able to supply people through about December 10th and guarantee you get it before Christmas as a gift. You know, for $180-something, you can give somebody one of the best gravity-fed filters out there, the best, but it's one of a line they've got, the Traveler Pro Pure, at InfoWarsStore.com, and you can get 15% off on that. Right now, it's 10% off with the promo code WATER, but starting tomorrow, and I'll just have them change it now, promo code WATER15, just 15% off, the already lowest price anywhere. And we're going to have that sale run through December 10th, because we've got enough. We've checked the warehouse. We've got enough to give you 15% off and then ship it all out in the week after the 10th, so you get it before Christmas. But that special will run from now until the 10th of December, InfoWarsStore.com.
You are listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
If you want an American company with American products made by Americans, here is the Cal Ben Soap Company. Alex and his staff have used these pure soap products for years. These all-natural soaps are made from the highest quality vegetable and coconut oils that are earth-friendly and safe. See them on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091 for a free catalog. Buy the 1 to 2 month sample package and enjoy soaps that are twice as good as what you're using now. Or save big with a 1 to 2 year supply of soaps for all your cleaning needs. This is an amazing deal. You can save thousands of dollars and use